Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's pick a card reading, we are asking Spirit all about your next significant romantic relationship. So we are going to be getting details about who it is, how you'll meet this person and what the relationship will look like. So for today's reading we have 4 groups for you guys to choose from. Group number 1 here with the Athlete card. Group number 2 with the Scribe card. Group number 3 with the Slave card. And then lastly, group number 4 with the Child Eternal card. Okay, so if you want to, you can pause the video here just to decide on a group, and then when you're ready, as usual, the timestamps are in the description box down below, and then let's see all about your next significant romantic relationship. Hello and welcome everyone who picked card number 1. So you guys chose the Athlete card, and today we are asking Spirit about your next significant romantic relationship. So to begin, I'm first going to be getting some details about who this person is that you are going to be in a relationship with, and then we'll see how you'll meet them, and lastly we'll look at details about your relationship, and we'll just end the reading with some advice from Spirit. So, to begin with the Athlete card, the light attribute says, dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. And the shadow attributes are misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. Okay, so first off, this person might physically be quite attractive and strong, or they might just like to work out a lot. So I get the idea that this is someone who really looks after themselves. And with Athlete, I also get the idea of having like some type of schedule. So this doesn't have to relate only to fitness, it could relate to other parts of their lives where they like to practice their skills. So maybe they have like a certain way of setting up their calendar with like certain dates when they want to achieve something, or just anything like that. So just that idea of working on your self-development. So obviously it could just mean, for some of you guys, this is someone that likes to go to the gym. It could even be that you guys will be working out together. So if this is a man, they might do like powerlifting or something like that. It could even be a woman, doesn't matter, gender doesn't matter, but just like looking after themselves in terms of their physicality. Okay, so let's get some more detail about who this person is. So from the Animal Spirit Oracle, you guys got the Phoenix card for this person, and you also got the Black Egg. So what's interesting is that both of these cards are spiritual cards in this deck. So I think when we look at the Athlete along with this spiritual aspect, your person could even have like a spiritual practice that they almost see as like a workout, a spiritual workout. So maybe working on some of their psychic gifts if this person has them. It could include working on their intuition, or maybe doing daily meditations, even something like yoga or breath work, anything like that, where they really work on all facets of their life. So it's not just relating to physical health, this Athlete card, even though everything is linked. So if you work on your physical health, it can also improve like your spiritual health. But I definitely get the sense that this person really wants to evolve spiritually. So with a Black Egg, it really talks about potential. So this person is someone who has a lot of potential in general, and I think they want to transform themselves with this Phoenix card into whatever it is that they can or want to be. The Phoenix is like part of Scorpio, the Scorpio signs evolution, I can call it. It has like 8 stages, I think, Scorpio. So it could be that you will be able to realize that this is the next person that you will be in a relationship with, because this person will be someone that is really working on themselves and transforming themselves. So it could even be that maybe you have known them before, when they were in like a beginner stage of this transformation, and then you meet them again, and then they have transformed themselves like this phoenix into something totally different. And with the black egg, I get a sense of mystery because it's like there's another egg card in this deck, but specifically with this one, it's like dark and murky. So I think there will be some mystery surrounding this connection as well. It could be that you start off having like a spiritual connection, so maybe you dream about this person, or you get like a vision or something like that, and it's going to seem unclear to you in the beginning, and then only later on it will transform into an actual relationship, since we're talking about your next significant romantic partner. And with the athlete card, it can even talk about like working on this relationship. So it could be that there are some difficulties surrounding your connection, and you have to almost fit it into a schedule like you would if you were to work out. So almost like have set times when you dedicate parts of your day to this person and this relationship. Now, I also think this relationship as a whole will be transformative for both of you. So it could be that you also realize your potential while being in a relationship with this person. So you could both inspire each other to do that. It could even be that you guys do like fitness rounds or something together. But I really get the sense that you will be an encouragement to each other to really work on your strengths and to reach your full potential. Okay, so let's get some initials. So Spirit, some initials for group number 1, please. Obviously this won't resonate for everyone, it's just some extra confirmation, but let's see. Okay, we have a D, we have a W or an M, take that how it resonates. We have an E, we have a Z, we have an N, we have another E, so maybe double initials in their or your name or surname, and we have a T. Okay, so that is maybe some significant initials for you guys. Let's get some other characteristics of your person. So I have my big bowl here that I had in the soulmate reading, so let's see some extra information about this person, please, Spirit. Okay, so we have Jack of all trades. So this person could be quite skilled in different areas of life. So maybe they are like physically very strong, but also creatively, or maybe they work in like a corporate job, but then they have like a side hustle that is in music or anything like that. So just someone who is multifaceted. Okay, let's see. Thrifty, interesting. So maybe they have a way of working with their money where they can really get the best deals. It could even talk about the way that they dress. So maybe they like to shop secondhand or something like that. We have small shoulders, so that could be for some of you guys. If it's like a woman, maybe she has like a more pale figure. We have scars, so maybe this person has a scar. Could even be like a workout injury. We have handsome. Okay, so someone is quite physically attractive, like we said in the beginning. We have musician. Okay, so as I mentioned, maybe some of these people for you guys have like a side hustle or some creative pursuit that they do. We have law, so maybe someone is a lawyer. We have construction. Interesting. This really relates to this idea of being physically strong for me. So for some of you guys, this could be a person that works in construction, so on building sites and stuff like that. We have artists. Again, this idea of being like two things at once. So I really get the idea that this person will have like either a multiple streams of income or just like different talents, which seems to be paradoxical for you. We have brown hair. We have educated. Interesting. I think educated doesn't necessarily have to mean here in terms of like graduate school or anything like that. It can even just be like common knowledge. When I think about someone who's in construction, it might not be something that is generally seen as like the right information to have. How can I word this? It's like they might have more practical knowledge than academic knowledge, but it's still like very useful information to have. Okay, we have sharp nose, we have light eyes, we have square face, we have flirty. Okay, so maybe this person is quite charming or they have a way with their words. And we have brown eyes. Interesting. So for someone, this could be someone with light brown eyes, so maybe like amber eyes or something like that. Obviously this won't relate to everyone's situation, just take what resonates. It's just some extra confirmation, but let's get this out of the way for now. Okay, so let's see where you guys will meet this person. So I pre-prepared some cards and you guys got the Wheel of Fortune and you also got the Ten of Cups. Okay, and we have like a rainbow on here, so maybe that is a sign for you, for some of you guys. Now with the Wheel of Fortune, I think it could be like a serendipitous meeting, but with the Ten of Cups, there's going to be like an instant recognition. Now I said here that maybe it would have to be a relationship that really transforms and where you have to put in a lot of effort. But now when I talk about having an instant recognition, it won't necessarily be like love at first sight, you know. It's just going to be something about this person that strikes you as different. It's almost like you will feel like you have known them before, and it could even be that you have shared some past lives with this person, especially with this Wheel of Fortune as well. If you know the birth chart, you can look at like north nodes and south nodes, and maybe there is some conjunctions or stuff between both of your charts. But with the Wheel of Fortune, I definitely get the idea that it will be quite unexpected. Now it could be through family or friends that you meet this person, but it's definitely going to be at a time when you're not really prepared. And I think divine timing is at play here, because we have like a little clock here. I don't know if that's going to be showing up. We have like a little clock on here. So maybe for some of you guys, you have been losing hope that you will meet someone. So that's also why it's going to be a bit of a surprise when this person actually enters your life. And you know, I think of the saying like clockwork. So I think once you get into a rhythm with this person, you're really going to be working very well together as a couple. And you know, the Ten of Cups is really about complete emotional fulfillment. So I do get the idea that you are going to be sharing a very strong bond, and you're really going to fit well together. You know, we have all of this like mechanics here, and everything has to work smoothly for it to function. Like in a clock, we have all of these I don't know what's it called, these cylinder things, and even with like mechanics, it makes me think of this athlete card. So really building together and working on your relationship together. So it's definitely not going to be like a one-sided relationship, if you guys were worried about that, or maybe in the past you had some relationships like that. Okay, so let's see what this relationship will actually look like. So the first card is just to give us an idea of the overall energy of your relationship. And for that, you guys got the Fulfillment card. So this is a very nice card to get. And as I said here with the Ten of Cups, it's about complete emotional fulfillment. So I definitely get the idea that this is going to be a very happy relationship. Now, we do have this peach on here. And I think about harvests. So it could be, once again, that there is some almost like a transitional phase where you first have to work through some difficulties. This doesn't have to mean difficulties within the relationship. It could even talk about external factors. So maybe you guys don't live near each other in the beginning. So it's going to take some time to actually come to fruition, to have like this happy family relationship. But with the black egg, once again, that idea of potential and something hatching and really just like blossoming into this fulfillment energy. Now we have a moon on here, so that idea of spirituality and intuition again. So definitely you guys will have like a very strong spiritual connection as well. And I think even in periods where you aren't close to each other, you will be able to feel the other person's energy. And it could be like a very destined relationship, once again, with this Wheel of Fortune. You could have some type of contract with this person. And I really think you will be able to sense this person's emotions, because we have like this heart on here, on this woman. Is that showing up? I don't know if this is focusing. But anyway, so this person will really like be in your heart space all of the time. It's like you're constantly aware of their thoughts and feelings. And with the athlete, again, that idea of winning someone over, I don't think it will be like a struggle for you both, but you will really want to impress this person, and they will want to impress you as well. So I think of this relationship as one where you will maybe constantly be giving the other one very sentimental gifts, or making like playlists, if I think about one of you being a musician, or some artwork, some handmade stuff. So definitely a very soft and gentle energy in this group. It could be a same-sex relationship for some of you guys, because I think about that movie, what's it called? The one with Timothy Chalamet. Is it Beautiful Boy? I can't remember now. But anyway, that movie, you guys will know probably. So maybe for some of you guys that is resonating. Okay, but let's see more information about this relationship. So I got 3 tarot cards for you guys. So you guys got the Hermit. This is Virgo energy. You got the 6 of Pentacles. And you got the Strength card, which is Leo energy. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, with the 6 of Pentacles, this is not going to be a one-sided relationship. It's really going to be an equal give and take, and both of you will be very invested. I almost think of like investments in a financial sense. So it's like you won't be putting in your time and effort if you don't see a long-term potential future with this person. So it's not like a calculated decision, but it's definitely not a relationship where you only look at something for 3 months or 6 months. It's someone that you see a family with, or someone that you can imagine moving in with, or anything like that. Now with the Hermit, this is Virgo energy, as I mentioned, and it's really about like introspection and wisdom. So I think you both will really learn from each other, and through these transformative stages in the relationship, you will almost learn about yourself. And I think it's going to be a very calm relationship, and there might be some times where you spend a lot of time only in each other's company. But I think about like, a comfortable silence. So maybe you both are more introverted. This doesn't have to resonate with everyone. But for example, you sit in a room together, and the one is reading and the one is like painting or working on their laptop or anything like that, and it's just not awkward. It's really comfortable, and you just enjoy each other's energy and company without having to talk all of the time. Now I do think you both might be a bit more mature. It doesn't mean age-wise necessarily. I just think you've already went through some difficult periods in your life, so that's also why you aren't looking for like a short-term relationship. You're really invested this time. And with the Strength card, once again, that idea of power and and working on yourself and having confidence. So I definitely see that you guys will inspire each other to be your best version of yourself and to showcase all of your potential. And I almost think of like protests when I think about this, like fist. So it could be that both of you are quite involved with maybe activism, so maybe for animal rights or like feminist protests, anything like that. Just some type of social issue that you are both passionate about. That's the idea that I'm getting here. Could even be like spirituality. But Leo is also related to like creativity. So maybe just you guys inspiring each other to also work on your creative talents. So it could be that together you will have some type of project, or even through this relationship you will be able to make like a side hustle your main job. So if you were doing music on the side, this person will support you so that you can turn that into your actual career. But that's just like extra information for you guys. But all in all, this is going to be a very nice and loving and very equal relationship. So you guys can look forward to that. So let's just end your reading here with some last guidance from Spirit. So for that, you guys got the Moonology card, Work Through Your Fears, New Moon in Scorpio. So Scorpio is quite significant here, that transformative energy again. And we also have the card No, Wait, Postpone, Pause, Say No. Now what I get with this is that initially you might be a bit against this relationship, which could be due to some of the stuff that happened in your past, and that's why you have to work through your fears. So this also links with the Strength card for me. As I mentioned, you guys will be caught by surprise when this person enters your life. So I think Spirit is nudging you not to immediately let this opportunity pass you by. So your first instinct might be to say no and to think that this isn't a good idea. But Spirit is encouraging you to look at the ways that you are maybe holding yourself back from having this emotional fulfillment. So obviously be objective, but don't just shoot yourself in the foot before even trying. So if this is talking about the external factors as well, don't look at the external factors as being like a barrier, because once you move through those difficulties, you will really appreciate the happy times so much more, because you were able to work through those difficult periods, and it will also show you your own strength and what you are capable of. And with the new moon, it's really about fresh energy. So this could be like a type of relationship that you haven't experienced before. So if you're scared to start a new relationship because you were maybe in toxic ones, Spirit is really saying to you that this will be a very different experience, and you don't have to be afraid of having like stormy and turbulent experiences in this next relationship with this person, especially since they are like quite spiritual as well. I think they are willing to do the work to work on themselves and to not bring toxic energy into your relationship. Okay, group number 1, I'm gonna end your reading here. That is what I see for you guys for your next significant romantic relationship. I really hope it resonated. If it did, you can let me know in the comments down below. And then I hope you guys have a lovely day. If you want to, you can give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. And then I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! Hello and welcome everyone who picked group number 2. So you guys chose the Scribe card. And today we are asking Spirit all about your next significant romantic relationship. So we're going to start with some extra information about who this person is, and then we'll see what their relationship will look like and where you'll meet this person, and then we'll just end with some guidance from Spirit about this relationship. Okay, so to begin, this person might be someone that is involved in communication. Maybe their job relates to that, like writing or journalism, anything where they have to do with words. Could even talk about networking. I think of like being a spokesperson for a company or like a motivational speaker even. Now with the scribe, the light attribute is preserving knowledge and information, and the shadow attribute is altering facts or plagiarizing others' works. So this person could be quite good with their words, like their communication in general, the way they talk with people is maybe very charming, charismatic. They might be a smooth talker. But I really also think of someone who has a lot of knowledge. So maybe this is a person who is quite educated. It could be that they are someone with a lot of degrees, doesn't have to be. But they just have like an intellectual vibe around them. So maybe you will be quite impressed by all of the things that this person knows. That could be part of the reason why you like them. Okay, it could even talk about like maybe them writing you love notes. So for some of you that could be in the pipeline. But let's see some more information about this person. Okay, so from the Animal Spirit article, you guys got the card Eagle. This is air energy, so Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. And you also got the Raccoon. This is earth energy, so Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. Okay. Now I find this quite interesting because the eagle is like, it's obviously a bird, but it looks from above, so it has like this bird's eye view, a very broad perspective, whereas the raccoon is like this little animal. It's like this trash pan now. It's very cute, but it's on the ground and it's scurrying away. So I think this person could have a way of adapting their personality to their surroundings. I really think of like mutable energy, so that is Pisces, Sagittarius, Gemini, and what's the last one? Can't remember. Anyway, so they really fit their surroundings. Now with the raccoon, they could be a bit they could have like a bit of a wild side, because it's like a feral animal, but people domesticate it sometimes. So maybe they just have like a wild side that comes out sometimes, and you could be quite surprised by that, because with the eagle I get like a wise energy, and as I mentioned here, they could be quite knowledgeable. So maybe sometimes they just like to let loose a bit. Now I do think they could be quite cute. So this could be like a man or a woman, non-binary, doesn't matter. But definitely just this idea of having a very multifaceted personality in terms of like sometimes being very serious and then sometimes being quite playful. Now I do think they could be a bit messy. I think of like a professor sometimes when I think of someone who is a bit unorganized but still smart. Maybe they have like stacks of paper lying around, or they just dress a bit strange. Maybe sometimes they have like mismatched socks, or their hair is a bit wild, or when I think about the raccoon, maybe they have like eyeliner that smudges a bit. Anything like that. It's just a bit chaotic energy, actually, is what I'm getting. It could be that this person is just like stuck in their head sometimes, and they forget about looking at themselves physically. Now I'm not talking about being like dirty. It's just a bit all over the place, if that makes sense. Now I said here this is air energy, so once again that idea of communication and their words. So definitely someone who's very smart. And with the raccoon, I actually get the idea that they have difficulty grounding themselves, even though this is earth energy. I think they are really like a bit up in the air. So maybe you could help them to bring them back down to earth sometimes. Now with the eagle, I also get the idea of like zoning in on your prey. So I think this person is quite determined once they have some goals, so they really know how to zoom in and focus on something. If I can think about education, maybe they are doing like a master's or something, and they have to write a piece of like a thesis, some research paper. and they have to zone in on their topic. So they are someone who's very self-motivated when it comes to some of their pursuits. So you won't have to like hold their hand all of the time. They are willing to work on them on their own and work on their goals. And this is quite nice. It's like hustle energy. But I do think you will have to remind them of like general life things. So eating healthy food and drinking enough water and stuff like that. But definitely someone who is very smart and very, very determined and ambitious. So they could have very lofty goals. You could be quite impressed by the dreams that they have for their life. And they could even be in like a career where they are like a CEO or something like that where they have to oversee things. And maybe sometimes they are a bit stressed. I do get an overthinking energy here as well. That is just like an extra tidbit. Okay, let's get some initials. So Spirit, for group number 2, possible initials for their person. Let's see. Okay, we have an H, we have a J, we have a P, Q, Y, S, a D, and another P. So maybe there are some double initials in their name or surname, or maybe you and this person share some initials. Obviously this won't relate for everyone, but for some of you it might be some extra confirmation if you already have someone in mind. Okay, let's just get some extra characteristics about this person as well. So I have my big bowl here. I had this in my soulmate reading as well. So Spirit, let's see some more information. Get some more. Okay. We have family oriented. Okay, and I get that with the raccoon as well. I think when they are in like a smaller group setting, they are like quite cuddly and very friendly and yeah, very sweet. Okay, we have booty, so maybe someone has a nice butt. We have pale, so someone could be on the lighter side here, or maybe they don't get enough sun. They are constantly working, so they have to go outside more. We have advertising, and this really links in with this idea of communication. We have mole, so maybe someone has like a beauty mark or something like that. We have twin flame. Okay, so maybe some of you guys relate to the idea of twin flames, or just like a high level soulmate. We have politics. Interesting. Once again, that also links for me with the idea of communication. So speaking to a lot of people, having a lot of influence. We have Scorpio. Okay, that could be a significant sign. We have false lashes. So maybe if this is someone who identifies as a woman, she wears false lashes. Could even be a man. We have dark eyes. And I get this with Scorpio as well. So maybe like a very intense stare. Okay, we have older, so there could be like an age gap. Maybe this person is a bit older than you. We have dreads. Interesting. We have plump cheeks, so maybe someone has some very cute cheeks. We have short lashes. Interesting. So there's maybe just something very significant about this person's eyes, because we have the lashes here and the eyes. So we have cute as well. We have naive. Interesting. I really get the idea that this person could be confusing at times. Maybe they don't always act in the same ways, and you could find this very intriguing. We have short hair. Independent. So as I mentioned, this person could be quite very like self-motivated. We have petite, so maybe this is someone quite small. And we have makeup, so if this is a female, she could like to do her makeup. Okay, that is just like extra information for some of you guys. Maybe it resonates, maybe it doesn't. But let's see all about the relationship. Okay. Alright, so to begin, Actually, before I talk about the relationship, let's first see where you guys meet each other. So for that, you got the Ace of Swords, so some more air energy, and you got the Ace of Wands. So both of these are aces, so it's beginning energy. So I definitely think for most of you, this is someone completely new, and you are going to be starting from the ground and working up from there. Now, it could be that you meet them while you are still a bit younger, and that's also why you'll be impressed by their knowledge. But it doesn't necessarily have to be. The aces could just talk about fresh energy, so you might even feel like a kid when you are in their presence. But now with the Ace of Swords, it could be like at an institution or something like that, especially with this specific Ace of Wands as well, because this girl has this book and this flower is growing out of it. So I think it will be at a time where you are also working on your own knowledge and skills and trying to almost unlock your future here with this man with the key. So it could be like at university or even like a conference, but definitely somewhere where information is involved and where it's about learning and growing yourself. Now, I do want to mention this could be like an interracial couple. This won't resonate for everyone, obviously, but I do get the sense that for some of you, it could be part of this new energy. Maybe you haven't dated someone outside of your own race. Now, I do also think that you will be learning from each other. So it will be a relationship where you maybe for the first time really grow with someone. So maybe you were in more superficial relationships. But I really get a strong sense of like knowledge. So it could even be that you study with this person at a time, because there's something about information being shared here that is standing out for me. It could even be like co-workers, but I'm really getting more sense of some type of educational institution. Or maybe for some of you, you could be doing like an internship, and this person is someone who works at a company, but there's just like a difference in like level. So one will be higher up in the company or institution and you'll be learning from them, or vice versa. Okay, that is just like extra information about where you'll meet this person. Now let's jump into the relationship. So the overall energy for your relationship, you guys got the card Flow. So this is quite nice. I get like a watery energy from this. So it could be that you guys are more like free-spirited when it comes to the relationship. So maybe you don't like to put labels on. Now with Flow, I do think you will really work well together. So it won't be like full of arguments, the relationship. So it's going to be going quite smoothly. But this could become a problem later on when one of you wants to make it more serious. So just be aware that it could be a problem that one or both of you don't actually want to define what is going on between the both of you. So this is just like a heads up from Spirit. Now, I also get the idea that maybe you will see this person a lot in the evenings because it's like nighttime on here. And I also think like raccoons are often out in nighttime. So maybe you even meet this person during the night. But it could just be that there are some secrets or not secrets necessarily, just a bit of an energy of being unsure. So maybe you guys just want to voice your opinion a bit more about what you expect for the future. Okay, so some more information about your relationship. We have the Two of Wands, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the Two of Pentacles. So I definitely get the idea that you will either be working together or studying together with these pentacles here. And once again, we have an ace here, so that beginner's energy. I think balance could be a problem in this relationship. Now, not necessarily balance between the both of you, but I think between work and the relationship. So, as I mentioned, this person could be quite focused on their goals. So, maybe sometimes they neglect their emotional relationships, and that's where you also have to be more forthright with what you expect and not just go with the flow, because that will leave you unhappy. It could be that this relationship stays in a very beginning level for quite some time, because we have the Two of Wands here, which is about planning for the future. But whether that's going to be executed will depend on how you handle this relationship. I think you guys will see a future with this person, but you will have to be clear about your intentions, because this person might only see it as like a nice time. And I don't think they necessarily realize this. Or realize that they are not giving you clarity about what they see for this relationship. But that's where Spirit is saying that you have to have a conversation and an open channel of communication with this person, so that they know what your expectations are and that you are seeing a future here. Especially if we have maybe an age gap, or this person is higher up in a company. They might be very focused on other things in their life and not realize that you actually want to settle down. Obviously, this won't resonate for everyone, but it's just a heads up for some of you guys. Now, I do get the idea that you will be working together. So, balance could even be a problem in terms of that. So, if you're co-workers, obviously sometimes there are some rules about dating co-workers, or someone that is in a different part of a business. So it could be something that's a bit of a challenge in this relationship, and that's part of what you're planning for in the future. So maybe where some of you go to a different company or do a different career, so that you can still be in this relationship with this person. I do also think you both will be working on your financial wealth while in this relationship with all of these pentacles, but the main difficulty will be balance between work and romantic life. So let's end your reading with some advice from Spirit. So you guys got the card Surrender to the Divine Full Moon, and also Take a Break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. So definitely, once again, this battle between work and home life. So Spirit's main advice is to have boundaries when it comes to how much energy and effort you put into your work. And this goes for you and for the other person. So you have to be clear about this and make sure that you spend enough time focusing on the relationship as well, so that you don't get too caught up in your work. Now with Surrender to the Divine, I do think you should be asking Spirit for guidance as well when you're in this relationship. And this links for me with this flow card, with this big moon and intuition and stuff like that. So when your gut is telling you something, I think you should really follow that feeling. So if your gut is saying to you that you should be clear about your intentions and your plans for the future, then you should listen to that. So never ignore your intuition when it comes to this relationship, because it will really be guiding you in terms of what you should be doing and what choices you should make. Okay, group number 2, I'm gonna end your reading here. So that is your next significant romantic partnership or relationship. I really hope that this resonated. If it did, you can let me know in the comments down below. If you want to support me and my channel, you can give this video a like and subscribe. Obviously, it's not necessary, but I do appreciate it. Then I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Hello and welcome everyone who picked group number 3. So you guys chose the slave card, which is quite interesting. And today we are asking Spirit about your next romantic relationship. So to begin, we're gonna get some some information. I keep on mispronouncing that. We're gonna get some information about who this person is. Then we'll see where you'll meet them. Then we'll get some information about the relationship, and we'll end off with some guidance from Spirit. So to begin with the slave card, the light attribute says surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust, and the shadow attribute is giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. Okay, so I think your person could be a bit of a people pleaser. Maybe they are used to doing other people's bidding, so it could be they have some problems standing up for themselves. Maybe a bit of a more gullible personality, or just like a softer person. Maybe this could even talk about family influences, so they could try to please their parents or grandparents or anyone, or maybe even friendships. So that is just like an issue that they have to work on. Maybe it could be a problem in the relationship as well. They have to choose between what would make like some of their family happy and what would make you and the relationship happy. So from the Animal Spirit Oracle, for more information about this person, you guys got the Dragonfly card and the Earthworm card. Now the Dragonfly is air energy, so Gemini, Libra or Aquarius, and the Earthworm is earth energy, so Virgo, Capricorn or Taurus. And what I find very interesting is that we have like this color here in the center of both cards. So I think this person is really, at the moment when you meet them, keeping themselves trapped due to entertaining other people or following other people's rules. And I think they aren't unleashing their full potential and really living their life in the way that they want to. You know, the Dragonfly is about transformation, and I even think about the Earthworm as relating to transformation because, you know, I think about worms, I also think about butterflies, which is just like the Dragonfly, about transformation. So I think in this relationship you will be able to help this person transform and to live a more authentic life. It could be that you bring a lot of color to this person's world as well. Now with the Earthworm I get a very shy energy, so it could be someone that shies away from attention, or just like someone who maybe isn't as opinionated, so maybe they don't always stand their ground. They maybe don't know how to really fight for themselves. When I think about the Dragonfly, it's also, it like flitzes in and out. It's just like, now you see it, now you don't. So maybe this person keeps to themselves more often than not. So it might be someone that almost like disappears in a crowd, or you don't often see them in social situations. I do think they might be a bit awkward. And I don't mean any of these things in like a negative way. I just think this person hasn't had the potential to really grow into themselves and to like have self-empowerment and feel confident in who they are. They might even be like someone with maybe autism or ADHD or something like that. So maybe some type of difficulty socializing. I don't think they relate to everyone, like all of their peers. They could have different interests, and that's why they also put up a mask, because they try to fit in, but in reality they are only doing themselves more harm by trying to conform to whatever rules people have for them and for how they should be behaving. They could even be like very creative, like in a very different way when I think about these colors. But they don't want to showcase that because they feel like they will be rejected if they do. Okay, so let's see some possible initials for your person. So Spirit, for group number 3, please. Possible initials. Okay, we have an R, we have an X, we have a Q, we have a Z, and we have an N. So this could relate or it could not. It's just some extra confirmation. You guys actually got a few less initials than the other group so far. But this could be your initials as well, so take it how it resonates. Let's see some more information about this person. So I have my big old trusty bowl of characteristics. So Spirit, for group number 3, please, some more information about this person. Okay. We have light eyes. We have musician. So when I talked about like having art, it could even talk about like a type of music that this person likes to make. Or they could be like someone who sings, but they only do that when they are at home. We have brown hair. We have a scar. We have educated. Interesting. I almost think of like being educated in terms of social etiquette. So how to behave in this and this and this situation. So really that idea of trying to conform to everyone else's rules. We have young. This person could be quite young still. Or I almost think of like not evolved, like I said. So maybe they haven't really grown into themselves and haven't found like confidence in themselves. We have cooking, so maybe this person likes to make food. We have straight hair. We have small shoulders. We have mixed, so maybe they come from a mixed background. But I also think of someone who has like a lot of different characteristics. So maybe they are like awkward but also well-spoken, or they are loud but an introvert. So anything that's a bit paradoxical. We have charming. This is interesting. I think this is part of the things that they learned to do. So maybe they really noticed the way that other people do things. So maybe like the way people make jokes, and it's almost like something they practiced. So they've become very good at it. We have adventurous. Interesting. I do think this is part of what they keep to themselves more. So maybe this person likes to go on like hikes, or they like bungee jumping. We have only child. So maybe for some of you this person doesn't have siblings. We have age gap. Okay, so there could be an age gap between both of you. We have sharp nose. We have brown eyes. We have loud. Interesting. And we have chest, so maybe they have like a significant chest area. Now with loud and charming, I do think of someone who maybe sometimes babbles a bit. So I really do get the idea of like ADHD, someone who sometimes has a very bubbly personality, but they have to rein it in due to people critiquing them for the way that they behave. So maybe when they are enthusiastic about something, people feel that they are too much and they have to tone it down a notch or 2 or 3. So maybe this person has chosen to almost retract some of their energy and really keep to themselves more, because when they really show their true selves, people find that they are too much almost, which is quite sad actually. So really the slave energy of trying to conform to what everyone else expects of them, but not what makes them truly happy. So that's quite interesting. Let's see. So I want to get some information about where you'll meet this person. And for that, you guys got the World card and also the 8 of Wands. So I immediately think about travel when I look at both of these cards. So you could meet this person while you're not at home. So maybe you are traveling overseas or just in a different place in your country. It could even talk about education. So maybe you go to study at a university or a college that is away from your hometown. Now, for some reason, I thought of like Mary Poppins when I saw this 8 of Wands, because in the movie, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but she like flies down with an umbrella. So really that idea of someone who is actually quite quirky and a bit different, but they might have learned to not show that to the world. Now, this could also talk about you guys traveling together when you are in a relationship. So really seeing the world and expanding your horizons. I get like Sagittarius energy. And I read this thing on Pinterest or Tumblr about Sagittarius energy being like this. It's this like philosophical person, and after they say something very insightful, they would make like a joke or like a fart noise or something. So it's really like this paradox between someone who on the one side can be very smart and then they do something out of the blue that is like strange or weird, but I think you will find it endearing that this person is a bit funny sometimes. I mean funny in like a quirky way. Now, I really get the strong sense that you will meet this person while traveling, but with the World card, it can also talk about changes. So it could be when you are going through a period in your life where some things are a bit unstable, and with the 8 of Wands, it's swift movement. So for some of you, you could meet this person in a very short time from when you are watching this video. Some of you might even have met them already. But I think this relationship will also move quickly. Okay, so let's get more information about this relationship. So for the general energy in this relationship, you guys got the Adventures card. And I find it interesting because we just had the characteristic of this person being adventurous. So definitely you guys will be going on a lot of like trips with each other. Now this doesn't have to be overseas, but definitely like outings in your general surroundings. So maybe you will be that kind of couple that goes on hikes often, or you go snorkeling, or you do foraging in the forest where you pick wild mushrooms, or you go to some type of lodge or a thing with wild animals roaming around, or you do bird watching, anything like that. So just something I think a bit outdoorsy, and something that not all couples do. So definitely you'll be like a very active couple. I get a bit of a restless energy as well. So maybe if this person has like too much energy sometimes, these adventures will also be a way of them working through all of that energy and that restlessness. And I do think this person will keep you on your toes as well. So maybe you aren't someone who is really that outdoorsy, but they will inspire you to also work on that part of yourself, because you will be willing to do that for them. And that's also why we have the World card. So maybe expanding your horizons in terms of maybe hobbies or things that you didn't actually consider fun or enjoyable in the past will suddenly become some of your favorite things to do, like hikes. And I think of like trail runs or mountain biking, anything like that, where you are also physically, sorry for that, the traffic is noisy, where you are physically challenging yourself. Okay, so for your relationship, you guys got the Ace of Wands, you got the 2 of Swords, and the 7 of Swords, which is interesting. Now with the Ace of Wands, there's definitely going to be a lot of passion between the both of you. Also with this 8 of Wands, a lot of fiery energy. Now the 2 of Swords is about indecision. Now this person could have some difficulty making choices. So even though you guys will be having a lot of fun together, I don't know how serious they are about relationships. It could be due to a fear, or maybe a fear of people not truly accepting them as a person. And with the Seven of Swords, it's like a sneaky energy. So maybe this indecision will be for a period of time where they are first trying to see whether you will accept their true personality. So it could take some time before they really are themselves with you. But I do think like the physical attraction will be a motivation for them to really try in this relationship and try to see if it will work and if you will accept them for who they are. But just be aware that there might be a period of time where it's a bit like an unsure period where you're not sure whether this person is actually in it for more than the physical aspect. But I think this is due to an emotional vulnerability on their side, where they don't want to feel rejected and they don't want to get hurt. Now, obviously, it's not fair of them to keep you in the dark just because they are afraid of rejection, because obviously you probably have like the same fears. Nobody wants to be rejected. But it's just something to keep in mind and to make sure that there's a safe space for them to be themselves and to realize that some of their characteristics, maybe like being restless, isn't something that needs to hold them back, and that they don't have to be like shy about it, and that you guys work on it together. But all in all, I do think it's going to be a very fun relationship and definitely a lot of physical attraction. But just be aware, there's going to be maybe some difficulties here that you need to work through. Now, to end your reading, we have 2 guidance cards, and you guys got the Inner Temple card. It says devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. And you also got new moon in Sagittarius, luck is on your side. Okay, so some more Sagittarius energy here. Once again, that idea of travel and philosophy and just a lot of movement, actually. Now, if luck is on your side, I think this person will feel very lucky to meet you. But I do think this is also talking about this uneasy feeling that you might be having when you aren't sure if this person actually will choose you. So this is Spirit saying you don't have to worry about this, because I think of like Cupid's arrow, actually. This is that showing up? I don't think so. Okay. I think of like Cupid's arrow, so I think this person will really feel like they hit the mark with you. So you don't have to be scared that you aren't meeting their standards. It's more an issue of them feeling like they should first test the water to see if they can be themselves. Now, with Inner Temple, I think of the saying like, treat your body like a temple. So once again, that idea of physical attraction here, I think this person will be quite devoted to you and giving you like physical pleasure. So I do think it's going to be a very physically loving relationship. And obviously there's going to be like an emotional aspect as well. It's not like it's only physical, because it says tune into the portal of your heart. So there's definitely going to be a big emotional connection as well. And we have like a mirrored image on here. So maybe this person's fears of not being accepted for who they truly are is something that you felt as well. And that's also why you can be empathetic towards them and really relate to them, because you have went through some of the same struggles. And you might also feel lucky to have found someone who seems to relate to you on that level. But I'm going to leave your reading there. Group number 3, that is what I see for you guys. That is your next significant romantic relationship. I really hope this resonated. If it did, you can let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to support me and my channel, you can give this video a like and subscribe. Then I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video soon. Bye! Hello and welcome everyone who picked group number 4, and you guys chose the card Child Eternal. And today we are asking Spirit about your next significant romantic relationship. So to begin, we're gonna get some information about who this person is, how you'll meet them, what the relationship will look like, and then we'll just end with some guidance from Spirit. Sorry for the birds outside, they're like screaming. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so to begin with this Child Eternal card, the light attributes says determination to remain young in body, mind and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. And the shadow attributes are inability to grow up and be responsible, extreme dependency on others for physical security. Alright, so I think you and this person's inner child will really be able to come out when you're in each other's company. So you could be feeling quite young when you're in this presence. So maybe they are very fun, very lively. Maybe they make a lot of silly jokes, or they could like jump around a bit. So maybe very a bit not all over the place, but just like skirting in and out of your life almost. But I think you will feel like a child again when you're with them. So it's very good energy to have. It's very playful. They could be quite entertaining. Maybe they say some things that are a bit out of pocket. Maybe like a strange sense of humor. Maybe they make some dirty jokes or something like that. But I think it's a very nice energy. It's like a more free-spirited energy. You won't feel burdened when you're in their presence. So that's like the general energy that your person has. Now, from the Animal Spirit Oracle, some more information about this person. You guys got the Nightingale card for them. This is air energy. And also the Fish card. This is water energy. So Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio. And this is Gemini, Libra or Aquarius. Now with Nightingale, I immediately think of someone who has like a very nice singing voice. Now, obviously this won't relate for everyone, but especially since we have this water energy here as well, which is about creativity. I think for some of you, it could be someone who has a very like a soulful voice, especially when they sing. You can really feel the emotion. But it could even just be that they have a way of talking which is very passionate, especially when they talk about like more creative things or things that they themselves are passionate about. And with the Nightingale, I also get the idea of someone who is like chirpy, you know. I was just talking about the birds outside here, so they could really stand up for things they believe in, like have a strong voice. I think of someone who's like a speaker, like a motivational speaker, or someone who leads the pack a bit. So maybe they are quite charming or persuasive with their words. I just think they will have a way of talking that you find soothing almost. It's like you will be able to listen to them for hours, just them talking. They don't even have to make sense. You just want to hear them talk. Now with the Fish, this is like we have this moon here as well, this crescent moon, and it's about emotions and intuition. So I think it will be quite a deep connection. I think that's also why your inner child will be able to come out. Could even be that you are like childhood friends that re-meet each other or rekindle the relationship. But it's definitely going to be quite emotional and intuitive, this connection. And quite spiritual as well, actually. Now, I want to get some more information about where you'll meet this person. And for this, you guys... Oh, actually, before I do that, I want to get some initials. So let's first do that. So, Spirit, for group number 4, please, some initials. Okay, let's see. That's quite a lot. We have a D, we have a K, an N, an A V, we have an S, we have a B, we have an R, and a P. So this could be initials for you guys, doesn't have to be, it could even be your initials, surname, middle name, anything, or maybe just like significant letters. Maybe you see some of these repeating, anything like that. So let's just take this away for now. And then before I look at where you meet this person, let's also get some characteristics. So this is my big old trusty bowl of characteristics that I wrote down. So Spirit, for group number 4, please. Let's see. Okay. Alright. So we have chill. Okay, this person is very chill. There's a song, Chill, that I was listening to. I'll mention it here on a little side note. I like that song. Maybe some of you guys relate that song to this person. We have angelic, and I think of like an angelic voice. So once again, this person's voice is really standing out to me here. We have singer. Oh my word. Okay. I really think that for a lot of you guys, this person has a very nice singing voice. You could even meet them through like their band performing or something like that. Or you hear them talk. Maybe you hear them before you see them and you're just like swayed by their wonderful voice and words. We have Capricorn, interesting. We have curly hair. We have tanned, so maybe they spend some time in the sun. They could like going to the ocean a lot if you live near the coast. We have smirk, so like a lopsided smile, anything like that. We have forgetful. I do actually think of like creative people as being like a bit more forgetful. I think they forget about like the normal 3D world a bit. We have ethereal. This is such an interesting person. I think they could be quite like whimsical. So definitely, I almost get like Aquarius energy with this. They're a bit otherworldly, but not like strange, but just not very conventional. We have clumsy, but definitely a bit out of touch with like the normal world. We have Cancer. So it's interesting because Capricorn and Cancer are opposite signs. So they could be like Cancer rising, and Capricorn is in the 7th house, so maybe you are Capricorn rising. It doesn't have to relate, obviously, for everyone, it won't. But it's interesting, it's like the mom and dad of the astrology signs. So, and then we have child, so I really think of like family. I think this could be a very significant connection for you guys. We also have short. We have children, so once again that idea of family. They could be very family oriented as well, but I just think that you will want to have a family with this person. And as I mentioned in the beginning, it could be someone that you met when you were still a child, so it could even be that they almost feel like family before you are even in a relationship. We have nerdy. This actually links with the Capricorn for me. We have makeup, so maybe they like to wear makeup. And lastly, we have Libra. Interesting. And Libra is about balance. So when I think about Capricorn and Cancer, it's like this work mode and then more like emotional. So it could just be that they are like overall very balanced. But I do think they tend to lean more towards their emotional side. So more like creative as well, like very more like an intuitive energy. Okay, so that is just like extra characteristics that could relate for some of you, but definitely this person is a bit, I actually think of the star card here, so definitely someone that's not very conventional, a bit in their own world and really march to their own drum. So that's how you'll know this is this person. Okay, so now let's finally see where you'll meet this person. And I'm feeling like very I'm in a very bubbly mood now, and I think this is this person's energy. So I think you can really look forward to this relationship because I'm feeling very good right now. So it's going to be very nice energy once you're in a relationship with them. Okay, we have the 7 of Wands and the King of Pentacles. So you might meet this person through work with this King of Pentacles. Could even be that they come from a family that has quite a lot of wealth. It doesn't have to be for everyone, but their family could be like affluent in some way, maybe from a high status family. Now with the 7 of Wands, this person could have some tattoos. I do actually associate that with artists or musicians or singers a bit. Obviously not for everyone, but with this card I actually get the idea of breaking out of society again. So I think you won't meet this person in a very like normal setting. It'll be a bit of a strange meeting place. So maybe if I can use an example, it would be like in a back alley, or like let's say you walk into the wrong classroom and then suddenly you meet this person. So it's not going to be like a normal way of meeting someone. Now you could even be stuck in some type of situation. So maybe your car broke down and you need someone to help you fix the wheel, and then suddenly this person just happens to stop there and they help you and you instantly click, and you know, the rest is history. But the 7 of Wands can also talk about some type of battle. So I actually think of like a rap battle now. If this is a singer, that is obviously only for a select few of you, but maybe some place where either you or this person has to almost prove themselves or fight off some people. It could even be that you have to fight off some other people for this person's attention. I even think of like a Stedford, or you know, somewhere where someone has to show their talents. So it could be like a runway show or a talent competition, anything like that, where they show their talents. Or it's like if it's in a work, it could be like a presentation, but somewhere where they have to show their skills. And I definitely think you're going to be hearing them. So it's not going to be just based on how they look. It's really going to be also based on how they talk. And I think you will be swayed by their words. Okay, so that's like where you will meet this person. Now the overall energy of your relationship is represented by the Enlightenment card, which I find very nice. And for me, this really links in with this idea of this person being like a bit angelic. So there's definitely a spiritual component to this connection. And I think you might even go through an awakening after meeting this person. Like, you don't just go through one awakening. So I think you will really be leveling up spiritually with this person, and it's almost like a whole new world will open up to you. Now, I also think you guys might be that kind of couple who like looks at the stars, because we have like a constellation or like the Milky Way in here. It's almost like you will be on this little ship sailing through, this is like through the clouds here, is that showing up. So definitely a very otherworldly relationship as well. I think it's going to feel almost like you're on some type of trip, like on medicinal mushrooms or something. So magic, that's really the word that's coming to me. It's really going to be like magic when you're with this person. And it's almost like your heart will sing with joy. You see the way I'm talking now, it's very strange. And I think this is this person's energy coming through. So I'm really looking forward to this relationship for you guys, because it seems like it's going to be a very fun time and very playful. I think you will really enjoy conversations with this person as well, because they could be quite flirty in the way they communicate and maybe really woo you with their words. Now, 3 cards to represent your relationship is the Temperance card. We have some Sagittarius energy. We have the 2 of Cups, which is soulmate energy, so lovely. And we have the Tower, which is quite interesting. We'll talk about it now. Now, with the Temperance card, if you subscribe to the idea of divine counterparts, or like twin flames, this could point to that, so it could be confirmation for you. Obviously, if you don't subscribe to that idea, just ignore this part. But I think it's going to be very balanced, this relationship. Now, with Temperance, there could be a bit of a wait. Now, as I mentioned, you could have met this person while you were still younger. Now, when I'm saying younger, it doesn't have to actually mean being a child. You could just be like studying with them, and then there's a period where you don't see them, and then you meet them again. Now, with the Temperance, it could talk about you still holding on to the idea of having a relationship with them while you are in a separation with them. This will resonate differently with everyone's situation, but I do think it just talks about having patience for a relationship like this. So maybe you always wanted magic, but you didn't feel like you were destined to have it, and your patience will be rewarded once you get into this relationship with them. And now this girl is doing like a lotus pose, almost like a yoga pose on here, so it's almost like something that you prayed for, and it's going to be very peaceful and calming. And as I said, it's like a playful energy. It's very nice, and I always think of like someone singing you to sleep, so like pillow talk and stuff like that. It's very nice and serene. Now, with the Two of Cups, as I said, this is soulmate energy. So really, it's like one of the best cards you can get. It's such a nice energy to have for a relationship, and you see these two are really like lovesick almost. They really, I don't know if you can see it on here. Is that even focusing? Wait. I don't think it is. Anyway, okay. But you can see they really enjoy each other's company. Yeah. Okay. So now with the Tower card. I almost feel like this is talking about a fear that this will come crashing down, because it's almost too good to be true. Now, there could be maybe some insecurity surrounding other people. So maybe you are scared that someone else will take this person away from you because you see them as such a catch. But I don't think you have to worry about this, because there's definitely like a very deep bond between the both of you. Now, the Tower can also talk about a period of separation where you have to have this temperance and this patience, and where you might be losing hope. And that's also why you will be almost praying for a relationship like this. So I think this talks more about your fears before the relationship than it is actually talking about the relationship in itself. So it's one of those strange scenarios where it's almost like this is talking about the connection, but not the actual relationship. So the connection that you have with this person before you come into union is maybe going to be more like this Tower energy, filled with anxiety and maybe almost like a feeling of destruction. But later on you will see that everything had to come crashing down for you to build up this wonderful relationship later on, if that makes sense. Okay, so to end your reading, we're going to get some guidance from Spirit. So for that, you guys got the card, You're Already Doing It. Stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. And you also got Don't Let Your Past Hold You Back, South Node. Now, what is interesting is I immediately think of like your North Node. So your North Node is what you are destined to do almost. It's what you're working towards. So definitely with this Enlightenment card as well, this person is part of your destiny. They're like part of your life's journey. So this, if there's like Tower moments, it's all part of a bigger plan for you guys, to be able to experience this magic when you come together. And with Don't Let Your Past Hold You Back, I think there's some issues, maybe some karmic issues that both of you first have to work through before you can actually come into union, so that you don't cause destruction for each other. And with the You're Already Doing It, this is really talking about this temperance energy. So if you're feeling lost right now, I think Spirit is reminding you to keep on working on yourself, and things will fall into place by themselves once you focus on your own shadow work and working through some of this karma maybe. Now, I think I'm gonna end your reading here. It's quite clear what Spirit is trying to tell you. So just like, don't overthink the situation. If you are losing hope, don't worry about it, because things will come into alignment if you choose to be patient. And like I said earlier, your patience will be rewarded. This is definitely going to be a very, very nice relationship, very magical, very whimsical, very loving. So don't worry about that. You might feel like this person right now wanting to break free from the circumstances, but just hold on a little bit longer and you will be rewarded. Okay, group number 4, that is what I see for you guys. That is your next significant romantic relationship. A very nice relationship coming your way. If it resonated, you can let me know in the comments down below. If you want to support me and my channel, you can give this video a like and subscribe. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video soon. Bye!